Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get a common denominator. Now, you may want to look at this and say, well, that's in the way. Now we're going to look at it and say, there was another problem that was looming behind me and I just felt a little threatened, so I was going to slide it back. You may want to look at this and say, well, it doesn't look too complex, and I hear you. Now, the title of this lesson is Simplifying Complex Fractions, not to be confused with imaginary numbers necessarily, but it is fractions inside of fractions. So even though it's not fraction, it's a fraction inside others, and it might help. Let's use the same color. This just because you might want to write it as fractions and it may look way too complicated and unnecessary, but that's what we're dealing with here. And our least common denominator among 1, 1, 1, and x is x. So we're going to multiply everything by x. And it's going to wipe out the only fraction inside this fraction. And that will leave us with, now we're switching colors, x times x times 1, 1 times x, and cancel, 1. Okay, done? No. Always try to reduce if you can, and I can, and so can you. We're going to factor an x out of the numerator, leaves us with x plus 1. And there's that. You see it too, don't you? I know. It's great. It's wonderful. Cancel. That's going to leave us with x right there. Okay, that other problem that was looming behind me, let's deal with him. Slide this over. What in the world is this mess? Okay, when you have a negative exponent, it moves it from numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator, but I want to be careful with how we do that, because in this context, that doesn't mean that this a to the negative 1 comes up to this big numerator. It becomes the denominator of just that term. And this b to the negative 1 becomes the denominator of that term. Okay, that might look a little confusing. So let's undo that little doodling there, and let's take this one more step. A to the negative 1 is 1 over a to the 1. And then b to the negative 1 is, well, b to the 1 in the denominator. There was an understood 1 in front of both of those. This a minus b is going to stay right there. Okay, why doesn't it bring that all the way up to the numerator? Because this is not one big factor. If all this was like ab all to the negative 1, then I could just take this and just slide it up, slap it up there and call it ab in the numerator. But I can't, because it's not one big factor. There's a subtraction that hinders me from doing that. Let's get a common denominator. That common denominator is, well, a and b. So ab. Okay, start canceling. A cancels with A, B cancels with B. Nothing cancels there. Nothing. I wish, but nothing does. And again, I switched to the exact same color I already had. Oh well. A times B, that spells ab. That was dumb, sorry. Minus B times A times B, that's bab, or AB squared, also known as ab. Sorry. All right, let's keep going. I feel a GCF in the numerator. You could feel a GCF in the denominator too, and I think I will. I think I'm going to. Let's deal with the numerator first. GCF in the numerator, there's an a that both terms have and a b that I can factor out. Leaves me with a minus b. Okay, you're left with b minus a in the denominator. That's fine, it's not wrong, but let's do the little magical thing we do where we turn it around by factoring out a negative 1. And then at this point, you'll say, oh, well, you know what? Let's switch to red or pink or lilac, whatever it is. And we're going to have AB over negative 1, which is negative AB. That's what we're dealing with. That's it. Anybody else lurking around over here? Nope, we're good. That's it.